So I've always thought it was kind of silly to go on vacation to Sweden when we live in Copenhagen, in Denmark. It can't be that different. But I'm really glad we finally did. To be honest, we hadn't planned much. Bought the tickets and found a hotel and went off to Stockholm. The coolest and funniest thing, though, was that our hotel room was located on the top of the Vasa Museum. Unfortunately, I don't have any video from the museum, only a couple of pictures I took with my phone. Well, we actually just been to the Vasa Museum, and it was pretty nice. It brought back a lot of memories, for sure. So the museum, the Vasa Museum, and our hotel is located right next to the Vasa Museum. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's a museum for a large ship that went down in 1628 on its maiden voyage. And it has cannons. In 1961, after the ship had been at the bottom of the ocean for 333 years, they decided to raise it. The entire process is described with pictures and everything at the museum. Pretty cool. After the museum, we went for a walk around the area. Since we came in the middle of October, colors were so vibrant. Leaves had started falling from the trees and the weather was a little bit on the cool side, but still very, very nice. The light was absolutely amazing. So apart from these ports that are all around the city, they also have a ton of parks. Okay, so there was one thing I wanted to do in Stockholm, and that was to go by the Cheiron Studio, or what was called the Cheiron Studio in the 90s. No, it's not this place. Unfortunately, this studio closed in the year 2000, but the building is still there and has been taken over by another company. Good morning and welcome to the second day in Stockholm. We just had breakfast, a lovely, lovely breakfast at a very, very cozy hotel restaurant. We are heading out to Cheiron Studio, and then after that, our plan is to go to the King's Palace. So these stations are massive, seriously, and they look like, all of them look like the Bat Cave. It's absolutely really, really impressive. Okay, so we finally got here. This is Cheiron Studio, when Dennis Pop and Max Martin started doing the sound of Ace of Base, and later on the Backstreet, Britney Spears, and Sync. All these pop groups came from this location. Unfortunately, Dennis Pop passed away in 1998, and Max Martin had to finish the project they were working on at the time, including Britney Spears. To make a long story short, there was a disagreement with the publisher and Cheiron Studio, so Cheiron decided to close their business and move to Los Angeles, where Max Martin has been producing pop music ever since and is considered by most to be the most successful songwriter and producer in the world. Of course, I had to come here and just stand there and take it all in. If this is like a street, it's definitely one of the narrowest I've ever been.
I think I'm gonna walk.
You wanna go? Yeah, do it. Let's go. So on our way to the King's Palace, we came by this little tiny narrow street. It is in fact so narrow that two broad-shouldered guys won't be able to pass at the same time. So I always thought that Copenhagen and Stockholm was be like kind of similar, and in many ways it is. Stockholm just seems so much bigger. The streets are wider, more parks, and they have trams. So this is Circle Square, I think it's pronounced. I've seen this on TV so many times when I was growing up. We used to watch TV from Sweden all the time.
So, as of right now, we are walking towards
a yarn store.
a yarn store.
So it's become a thing to go to yarn stores. I don't knit myself, but Amalia knits. So every time we are in a new city, we have to go and check out the local yarn stores. So these thingies or meters visualize the pollution in the air and in the water. And on top of that, they look damn cool.
So, I think this is gonna be the last video of the day. We've been up since like 9 o'clock or like 9:30. It's like 6 something now. And we just wanna go home and or go to the hotel and relax. Cause we have half a day tomorrow in Stockholm. So, see you tomorrow.
So the Backstage Hotel is affordable. It's modern and it's stylized. It has these neon LED thingy theme going, which I really like. Apart from that, though it isn't in the center of Stockholm, there are many things to do in the surroundings of the hotel, which is really cool. One thing to note though, not many restaurants at this time of year are open at the time we wanted to eat, which would be around 7 or 8. So the Nordiska shows Scandinavian history through our traditions. It's big and takes about a couple of hours. Of the least favorite things we did in Stockholm, I would say this was probably it. But I've never been much of a museum guy, so take it with a grain of salt. We had a couple of hours to kill, so we found a bench by a lake and we sat and enjoyed life. You won't be able to hear what this guy is saying due to the background noise, so I will tell you. We decided to leave for the airport pretty early, and as we were sitting in the train, we got a text saying that our flight had been cancelled and they recommended that we take the next flight. But because we had left early, we had time to catch an earlier flight. If you are still watching, now it's your turn to go to Stockholm. Thank you for watching.